Our game today is going to focus on how to build a scene that shows a reader what's going on instead of telling them. To play this game, I'd like for you to get up on your feet and we're going to move around, but you can also play this game sitting down or even laying down with your eyes closed, as long as you really let your imagination roam. So let's go ahead and if you're standing up, shake out a hand, shake out another hand, shake out your shoulders, shake out a foot, shake out another foot. If you're laying down, make sure to clench and open your hands a few times and kind of get yourself settled so that you're really physically engaged in the imagining process. So what we're going to do first is we're going to think about the scene we're trying to create. First, we need to know what the setting is. Where is your character going to be? Now, whatever the setting is, I want you to go ahead and put your character in action. So if you've chosen the cafeteria, maybe they're eating. If they're in a classroom, they might be doing a science experiment. If they are outside, give them some sort of physical activity. So if in the scene, I want my character to be betrayed, and I want to show you how badly her best friend hurts her, I have to decide where that's going to take place, where I can make the most impact, and how I can make that play out in a way that is most interesting. I might immediately set a scene in a place where I can easily see my character. So I easily see them at school, I easily see them at home, but sometimes when you're thinking about this scene, you can imagine another setting that would actually make the whole situation even worse. So if your character is going to be betrayed by their best friend, would it be better if they were on a field trip doing some kind of trust activity and it's even worse? So think about what your character might be doing and now strike a pose for your character. 3, 2, 1, freeze. What could be the first action that would move the character, your main character, and then any other important characters in the scene toward this eventual outcome? Think about what your character might do. Think about what somebody else might do and how your character might react. And we're going to kind of move forward in time to that next important action. 3, 2, 1, freeze. Great. Now I want for you to think about 2 more events that are going to move us closer and closer to the wham thing that's going to happen. What would be the next important action? What would your character be doing? Let's try that. 3, 2, 1, freeze. And one more. 3, 2, 1, freeze. Now, we've got your character right before the moment where the big thing in the scene is going to happen. Think about your character's emotion, think about how they're feeling, and now you have a general idea of how the big surprise is going to show up. I want you to think about if there's some tiny change you can make to what you've already predicted, because whatever you're imagining in your mind, if you alter it just slightly, that's what's going to potentially make it a surprise to your reader as well. So what can you do to really add some drama, some tone, some interest to this event that's about to happen? Then imagine what your character physically does. What reaction do they have? What action do they take? 3, 2, 1, freeze. Now your scene is going to move toward its conclusion. So we need to show how your character is feeling. So what kind of thing might she do? Might she eat her sandwich, and the way she eats her sandwich helps us know she's devastated? Think about what might happen as your scene closes and give your character a physical action here. 3, 2, 1, freeze. Now let's rewind back to the beginning. We're talking about showing instead of telling. So we're thinking about subtext. We're thinking about the way your character does things. We're thinking about giving your reader clues to really help them see how your character feels in every moment and how they're interpreting what other people are doing in that moment as well. So we're going to play through the whole scene again, but this time I want you to kind of revise it. I want you to make it even better. So you might make some tiny shifts. You might think through different things characters might say. You're going to do the whole thing silently in your mind, but I want you to physicalize it so that you feel what it might feel like to be your main character moving through the actions in the scene. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, you may want to run through this scene multiple times again, and that's absolutely wonderful. I encourage you to do so. I'd also encourage you to share any insight that you came up with about your scene. Maybe there was a way you shifted the scene or a question you asked yourself that really helps spark a new insight? If so, please share it with us in the comments area below, because you will spark creativity for your fellow writers. And speaking of sparking creativity, I encourage you to share this video and tool with other writers and mentors and teachers in your life so that more people can be inspired with this video and the interactive tool I was just about to tell you about. In the link below this video, there's a place where you can actually do some work to further define this scene. So once you've visualized it, imagined it a few times, and you're ready to start drafting it, you can use this tool to really take you through the process of making the scene excellent. And if you prefer to download a PDF, there's one at that link as well. You'll also find information about Society of Young Inklings and our free Inklings book writing contest, as well as tools for youth who want to write something bigger, such as a novel. In the meantime, here's to you and your creativity.